In the northeastern theater of Ukraine, along the battered roads of the Sumy and Kharkiv regions, a different kind of war is being fought, one of inch-by-inch advances and desperate defenses. According to Anton Teryabychenko, a spokesman for the Ukrainian Border Guard, speaking in an interview with the Ukrainian TV and radio channel, Russian forces have suffered significant losses in their latest attempt to seize new territory. The Russian objective, Teryabychenko explained, was to capture a zone stretching 20 kilometers from the border deep into Ukrainian territory. This buffer would have given Moscow a staging ground for further expansion, turning Ukrainian land into a forward military base. But the plan failed. Ukrainian troops met the assault with fierce resistance, repelling the Russian army in the Sukhoi and Kharkiv sectors. The enemy does not have the means to win this war in the region, confirmed Viktor Yanukovych, a name to verify, likely a pseudonym or error, as the former Ukrainian president shares this name. The intended official may be a current National Security Service spokesman. They have not achieved their goals. In fact, they are being pushed back further than before. Ukraine's military position has shifted dramatically since January. At the start of the year, Ukrainian forces managed to secure defensive footholds in the Sumy and Kharkiv regions. But now, in April, the Ukrainian command claims a strong, growing advantage. The counterpushes are not limited to the north. In the southeast as well, Ukrainian brigades have rolled back Russian positions, liberating more than 600 villages from occupation. The spokesman for the State Border Guard Service of Ukraine offered a sober warning alongside the good news. Russia has regrouped its battered units. They are waiting, rearming, and preparing for another assault. We will not allow the invaders to gain an advantage, the spokesman vowed. We must find ways to push them back as quickly as possible. Russia has tried repeatedly to occupy large areas in the northeast, south, and east. But the blue zone, the northeastern borderlands, remains firmly contested. Ukraine had already driven Russian forces back once in late 2024. And since the full-scale invasion began on February 24, 2022, Russia has never truly held a strong, unchallenged position in this sector. The war has seen dramatic swings. In late 2023, a large-scale Ukrainian retreat took place in the Kharkiv region, with forces falling back to villages just inside Russian territory. Russia also retreated north of the city of Kerch during that same period. But by the end of 2023, Ukraine had reversed the tide again, pushing Russian troops all the way to the border zone and across the Kenia River. Then came 2024. Russia prepared a new strategy, a counterattack designed to expand the battlefield in northeastern Ukraine. That strategy is now faltering. Every day, Ukraine claims that Russia loses between 1,000 and more than 1,500 soldiers. The total, over nearly 5 years of war, is staggering. More than 1.3 million Russian troops killed, wounded, or missing. To put that number in perspective, it exceeds the total Soviet losses in some entire campaigns of World War II. To feed this meat grinder, Russia is constantly recruiting. The Ministry of Defense, under the command of General Valery Gerasimov, referred to as Mr. Blavitin in your source, likely a transliteration issue, must find 100,000 to 150,000 new soldiers every single month just to maintain current force levels. But this task has become nearly impossible. Young Russians, disgusted with Putin's war, have fled the country in enormous numbers. Those who remain are largely the most loyal supporters of the government, or those too poor or powerless to leave. While the northeast bleeds, Ukraine is looking south, toward the Crimean Peninsula. Ukraine has announced a dramatic new phase of the war, a real planned invasion of Crimea using naval forces. For the first time, Ukraine claims effective control over the Black Sea. The Black Sea is in the hands of Ukraine, a spokesman declared. Ukrainian military aircraft now patrol the Black Sea airspace constantly, monitoring for illegal activities and Russian movements. For the first time, Ukraine claims effective control over the Black Sea. The Black Sea is in the hands of Ukraine, a spokesman declared. Ukrainian military aircraft now patrol the Black Sea airspace constantly, monitoring for illegal activities and Russian movements. The Crimean Peninsula, occupied since 2014, has become a trap. Russia has reportedly evacuated its wealthy citizens from the region, leaving behind only the poor and the military. Those remaining troops are under constant bombardment from Ukrainian jets and missiles. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has stated that he plans to seize the peninsula using minimal naval resources, a bold claim that military experts view with caution. The Kremlin's response has been as predictable as it is terrifying. Dmitry Medvedev, the former Russian president and current deputy chairman of the Security Council, issued a stark warning. If Crimea falls, then Ukraine should prepare for the fall of the Kremlin itself. His implication was clear. Russia would not simply lose a territory, it would escalate beyond all current boundaries. Despite this bluster, analysts note that Russia has already withdrawn many of its warships from the Black Sea, redeploying them to safer waters, some as far as the North Sea and even near Iran. Russian warships, it seems, do not want to face Ukrainian naval drones and missiles. But on land, the equation is different. Experts warn that Russia will not back down if Ukraine launches a full ground offensive into Crimea involving Marines, submarines, and heavy armor. The next phase, if it comes, will be the bloodiest yet. Every day, Ukraine launches a little more than 20 missile and drone strikes against Russian positions in Crimea and along the southern front. But Ukrainian intelligence is not blind to the risks. A major Russian spy ring operating inside Ukraine has recently been dismantled. A victory for Kyiv, but a reminder that Moscow's intelligence services remain active. Russia has deployed dense barrages of air defense systems and anti-missile batteries across the Black Sea region, turning the peninsula into a massive fortified military base. Yet Ukraine remains undeterred. Russian warships do not want to face us, a Ukrainian official said. They are willing to withdraw to the other side of the continent. President Zelensky has been consistent. Crimea will return to Ukraine. He has vowed to pursue a diplomatic solution if possible, but he has also made clear that he never recognized the 2014 annexation. Crimea fell into Russian hands through a contested peace treaty signed by former Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych, a deal that Zelensky and the vast majority of the international community consider illegitimate. We do not recognize Crimea as the territory of the invader, Zelensky has said repeatedly. Not now, not ever. Conclusion: the war that has no end in sight. As of now, the war grinds on. Russia has lost over 1.3 million soldiers, hundreds of warships, thousands of tanks, and yet it still holds nearly 20% of Ukrainian territory. Ukraine has liberated 600 villages, pushed back the northeastern front, and claimed the Black Sea, but it has not yet broken through to Crimea. The frozen front is not frozen at all. It is burning, slowly, every day. And soon, perhaps very soon, the question of Crimea will be answered not with words, but with Marines on the beach and missiles in the sky.